Welcome to the Studio Little Bold podcast, where vision meets execution, creativity finds clarity, and mentorship unlocks potential. I'm your host, Abigail Osidiana, and this is the space for designers, dreamers, and change makers looking to build bold ideas and shape the future of interior design. Hi there, welcome back to our podcast. This is the Studio Little Bold podcast, and we are here to have interesting conversations on interior design, particularly on the challenges between internships and the real-world experiences, or your first working experience and what you learned while you're at school. Today, I have our guest, Claire, from Interiors by Claire, who also happens to be a very good friend of mine and a former classmate from uni. So I'd like to give her the opportunity to introduce herself. But first, I'd like to thank you so much for making time to join us. Yeah, because this is really a conversation that's really going to impact the community. It's giving back, to the ones who are budding. Mm-hmm. And I really want to hear your insights. Yeah. So take it away. Please introduce yourself.
Thank you, Abby. My name is Claire Odongo. I'm the founder and creative lead at Interiors by Claire. We are an interior design studio. This year we'll be running 8 years of the design studio. And we do end-to-end interior services with a strong focus on residential spaces, health and wellness. That's me in a nutshell. Mm-hmm. Thank you.
Karibu sana. Tell us, for those who haven't listened to our podcast before, which university did you go to and how long was the course?
I went to Maseno University. Mm-hmm. It's down in Western Kenya, right at the equator. Mm-hmm. Took 4 years. Mm-hmm. Yeah, so 2012 to 2015.
How did you choose Maseno University?
You know what? I didn't want a university in Nairobi.
Why?
And it seemed I didn't want the hassle of studying in Nairobi.
Why?
It just happened. I wanted somewhere laid back.
Mm-hmm. So this was intentional?
It was intentional, and the sense of familiarity, because I'm also from that side. So it felt there was a sense of safety. Yeah, but also rumor had it was the best university offering interior design, and actually it is the best in Kenya. So it was an easy decision. Yeah.
And how did you even end up choosing interior design actually?
You know, Abby, when I think about it, when I was growing up, I loved coloring books. My mom would buy me coloring books, and I loved doing it. Then when we grew up, we moved to our home incomplete. So amongst my siblings, I was the one who was sitting with the fundis, looking at them, doing plaster, choosing tiles.
How old were you at this time?
I was around 10, 12, class 4. What's class 4? 12 years.
No, class 4 is not 12 because 9.
Yeah, so 10. Yeah, I remember very well. It was the year 2001. And then fast forward in university, I loved True Love magazine. They had a segment for home. So I used to flip the pages and ask myself, wow, will I
wait in high school?
Yes.
Oh, in high school. Okay.
So they had a segment for home. So when I had a chance to get a look at True Love magazine, either in school or when I've gone to the salon, the first place would be the home segment. And I'd look at those beautiful homes and ask myself, will I ever get to design such spaces? And little did I know that there was something boiling inside. So when it came to selecting courses at that time in Form 4, I chose Maseno. There was that notion that Nairobi University, you have to have the highest grade to be chosen. So I just picked Maseno. It was out of town. Yeah. And that's what came. And we're here.
And how did your parents take that interest in interior design? Because that was a while back. Oh, yeah.
I don't think they really even understood it. They were probably happy their daughter has made it through to campus. And let me tell you, they're finding appreciation almost 10 years, maybe 2-3 years ago. I don't think they fully comprehend it, but because they have now experienced our service directly, because I got to build for them. They now appreciate what we do and how their space looks like. But then it was just their daughter doing a course and always doing projects and asking for money.
So they never told you, now what is this you're choosing? There was never that conversation.
No. There's not that conversation with my parents.
It was like, okay, this is what you're doing. Yes, I will go.
We didn't even have that conversation.
You just chose what you wanted.
I just remember my mom taking me to campus. My dad they really didn't even think it through, but they were just happy their child has made it to campus.
Wait, you were taken to campus?
Yes.
I'm a last myself. I'm a last born, but nilijipeleka go.
See, I've never been out of town that far. Of course, there was that idea. My mom was like, you're going out of town this far. Campus. But taking up the course was just never a problem with my parents. I never struggled, not even one day. They've always been supportive.
So let me ask, so you've gone now to Maseno University, you started the program, etc., and now you've left. How would you say that education shaped your career? Did it or did it not, first of all?
It did.
How did it shape it?
In so many ways. Interiors by Claire will not be there if Maseno didn't happen.
Why?
It was the building block. It was setting the foundation, understanding the fundamentals of design. You get, when I was in high school, looking at the magazines, I just saw beautiful spaces, but I didn't understand what I need to do to bring these things together. You get? So when I look at those different courses, history and interior design, even though I didn't like, that was my worst unit. I look at it when you're developing a style for a client, maybe you may need to go back to the history.
Yeah.
Principles of design, elements of design. Different
understanding proportion,
exactly, balance,
scale,
texture, line. It's those things you get to use them every day in your practice. They were building blocks, even freehand drawing. I struggled with that.
I think I struggled.
I didn't like it, but all those units really helped me become who I am. Maybe if I was more serious, I would be a better designer in some things. Right now, I still struggle with sketching. But if I was to do things differently, I would spend more time in my coursework. Be more intentional about it.
Like which course, for example, would you say, looking back, you should have been a lot more serious with?
I can't really remember them. But one of the things I really, really appreciate is us doing presentations when we were doing group work. Do you know what that has done? We can't execute projects without teamwork. I had a team of about 6 people. So there's no teamwork.
Yeah, there is teamwork.
If there's no teamwork, we don't have projects.
Yeah.
That's 6 people in-house. We have to coordinate with the fundis. We have to coordinate with the client. It needs to be such a seamless synergy. You get presentations. We're always doing client presentations because you need to, bring them on board and tell them, I can execute this. This is how your project will look like. So every day when I think about those units, they really helps me. I don't fear doing presentations. I love doing presentations, especially knowing that I've put in a solid proposal. The only thing I need to do is convince a client. So when I look at those units in class, I may not remember all of them, but they were really building blocks. And you realize you don't detach yourself from them, but what happens? You're building up on them. Not in a direct way, but you're bringing this here, you're bringing that here, you're bringing that here. And when you look at it, even doing card work, right now, do I even have time to start learning ArchiCAD on those all those softwares? I don't have the time. So card work really, really helped me. And we use a lot of card work in doing our client proposals, our design proposals.
Yeah.
So campus honestly was an amazing experience into making with the kind of designer I am right now.
So do you feel now, based on that experience, do you feel like now you've been in the real world versus you in school, you've seen the building blocks, do you feel like there's a gap, or there are things that you wish were taught in campus, or you feel like, you know what we were given is enough, deal with it as you move along?
There certainly is a gap. Yet to see if there's a course that will really give you everything in totality in class. I don't think there is an education that will give you everything in totality. So transferring class to the real life needs a lot of intentionality. You learn a lot in the real life when you start interacting with the different people. Communicating your design ideas. You get? You have this nice idea, you have this nice set we've seen, like where we are seated in, but it needed the skill of an interior designer. So you've brought in different people. Now, class may not give you the very hands-on experience. You know, I would change some things, probably in coursework right now. I would teach students how to cost for projects. I would teach them to understand how is their design relevant in a real life setting. Because I struggle even when doing interviews for students. What I see a lot is they have this beautiful proposal. And even when I give a simple technical interview, they're not able to do it. Or it means I really have to do a lot of coaching at the initial stage, when I'm taking interns. You get
a long way,
and I need to tell them your design doesn't make sense if you can't execute it.
It's just nice on paper, it's beautiful,
exactly. So you need to understand, how is this design going to be executed? And that means you really need to partner with those people who do it every day. Call that fundi who's doing the cabinets, understand it. Call this fundi who's doing the tiling, ask him, nahitaji nini kutile. You get? But you know that can only happen if you have the interest, you push yourself. It's a really, the balance is really hard to find, but you can find it.
So basically, even what you're saying, or what maybe would like to emphasize for the viewers, is as much as university doesn't give you much, it's more like a stepping stone. You take a certain percent and now run with it.
Yes.
It's more or less teaching you also how it is in the real world.
Yes.
Real world, it's your initiative that will help you grow.
Thank you.
It is your initiative. It is your effort. It is the extra hours you take to go to an expo, to go to a, client meeting, to go to a supplier and just look at, they have this kind of tiles, they have this kind of taps. How is this fixed with this? Random. You've not been sent. You don't have a project. Just seeing what's out there,
And you know what, Abby? Learning from those who've gone ahead of you. There are different ways of learning. When I left campus, I got experience in an institution. It was a government institution. The place didn't really allow me to exercise my design skill as such. And so when I thought about it, I said 5 years, if I remain here 5 years later, I'll not be relevant. I'll not become the designer I want to be. Did it help me? Yes, it did. That's when I stepped out and started Interiors by Claire. And let me tell you, each and every year, it's been learning. And funny enough, those who come after me in my team, those who are recent from campus, I learn from them.
Exactly. It's always a learning process, and learning doesn't have to come from top down.
Exactly.
It can go up and you're like, oh, okay, there's something.
So I'm like, we didn't learn this in campus. Sikuwa najua hii. Yeah, we were taught this. So even what I can tell, especially for students from Maseno, I can see an improvement in the delivery of their work. You get? For students who've really taken their coursework seriously, I can see how I came out from campus
versus them.
Yes. Or maybe I was just not serious.
Yeah, joker.
But I was a good student. But I can see a different student. And why is that? I've seen Maseno take up lecturers who
Or on the ground.
Exactly.
So then it even shifts my perspective and the discussion, because I remember when I was starting this podcast, my main conversation was more from my experience, how things were very different when I went into the real world. Yeah. So I remember just saying, I was shocked a lot. But now from this conversation, I'm learning that truly it is from my experience, because maybe other people later on, the program improved. You know, maybe the program improved. Maybe during my time, they were also fine-tuning A, B, C, D. You get, because it's been 10 years. You know, I'm not expecting that that's what they're still churning out at the university. Or I'm not expecting that that's the coursework that they're also learning. So actually, that's a very nice way of putting it in, because you've seen people who've recently come from that same institution and seeing the kind of quality of work and the kind of output they're giving.
Yeah. So it's a really interesting space to be at. And I like it for them also. And also an initiative I've done. I've taken time. I've gone back to university, to my university, to my alma mater.
Yeah.
And I've taken time to talk to the students. And why have I done that? I don't want them to struggle the way I struggled. Can they have experiences before they step out?
Yeah.
Can they learn to manage their expectations before they step out? Because there's that bit of what you imagine in campus, what you see on the magazines, or right now there's YouTube and all these channels. You can consume a lot of interior design content. And then there's the reality of...
Give me one example that for you needed to manage your expectations. Looking back.
I needed to understand that the kind of designs I produce now, my capacity at the first year couldn't, because I didn't have the right skills. So I needed to build. There are things I do right now, they're so easy. And I realize if you gave me those projects with all the resources back then, I probably wouldn't have delivered. And one of the things that happened was my mindset. My mind was not ready for some of the projects we're doing right now.
But which is true, because sometimes you can also see all these projects and things on TV, on magazines, and you're like, but I'm an interior designer, I've learned this. And honestly, you can't execute it. And not because you will never be able to execute it. I've never actually thought about it that way.
It's a building block, Abby.
Yeah.
It's such a building block.
About it, You're just not able.
Even managing a project, to put up to get something until you have a concrete project, a finished project, it needs a lot of resilience. And those are things not taught in school. It means character. You need to build your character. You know, are you a finisher? If you're not a finisher, you'll never have a finished design project. So that's what are some of those things that have built me in the real world that school will not teach me. So if you didn't complete your assignments, you can't.
That's true.
If you're lazy, you know, we used to transnight, or we used to have so many projects to deliver. If you're lazy, you can't deliver a project.
And that's interesting, because I remember there was someone who came to my firm, I think last year, and was doing an interview for a position. And no, I think the year before that. And she asked me, what's one important skill that you're looking for the person you want to hire? And funny enough, I told her, I just need someone who can finish. I'm not asking for the most creative person. I'm not asking for the most talented one, the most whatever, because there are some who just sit and hold work. You're working on it and it's never ending, and we can never send it out. You never finish work. And if you don't finish work, we can't give it to the client. If you can't give it to the client, it can't be executed. If it can't be executed, you can't be paid. So what are we doing here? We are running a business, you know.
One, if you're not a finisher. Two, if you're all over the place. I tell my designers when they come to my team, I'm training you. Don't design this bathroom, leave. Start designing this space plan, leave it. Come and do this mood board, leave it. It doesn't work that way. Study, understand what are the principles I need to learn to deliver a good bathroom design. Understand it. Spend time on it. Study. You have to study. What bathroom? Who are the people I need to deliver a bathroom? There's a tiler probably. There's a plumber. Understand. You get, move it. This is a space plan. How am I arranging things? Finish that. But if you're touching this, if I keep on saying, if you're a touch and go person, you can never become a fine designer. Touch and go means you don't finish. So you have so many pending things. You get.
And I think one of the biggest challenges, which I was also speaking to, I think someone on my team, was starting work without a plan of how you intend to finish. For example, let's say we were designing this space and I tell you, Claire, we need to design this space and we have 2 weeks to do it. So in these 2 weeks, we need to have done the concept, we need to have done the layouts, we need to have done the detailed drawings, right? And then, so I've given you the brief and I've told you I need your concept, let's say by Friday this week, and I need all the drawings together next Friday, for example. And then you just go to your desk and you start to make a concept. Now, you don't even understand the confines of the brief. You don't, so meaning you don't know how you're going to finish. You get, you don't know the confines of the brief. You don't know what kind of materials it is. You've started drawing. You don't know, am I drawing to put a 600 by 600 type? You don't know. But you've started drawing like, I will fill in the blanks later. You get. So you're starting, you're touching, you're doing. At the end of it all, I'm asking you, and this, you realize, oh, this and this can't work. Because you didn't think at the beginning, I need A, B, C, D. I need to know what the floor to ceiling height is going to be before I start doing my elevations. I need to know. So you've started drawing. You don't even know where your ceiling is going to end. Now you're asking in the middle of the project, now what is the height of the ceiling that is tomorrow? So you're disrupting a lot of people because you're now disturbing Claire. Okay, give me the heights. Kidogo, you realize, oh, I don't know the spec for this. Abby, what are we using here? Okay, I give you. Next day, you're calling the next person. So even the work is so chaotic, the office is so chaotic, you're disrupting everyone's peace. There's no system. You know, you're starting, stopping. You get.
One of the things that I tell my team, if we don't get it at the brief, we failed. The brief is the most fundamental and crucial part of the design process. So that is something I would take back to school to make students understand. Because I find that discord. You get that we don't spend much time on emphasizing the need of capturing a proper brief and recognizing you can't go back to the client all the time and ask them
questions.
Exactly.
Or even there's a brief, but you don't want to tire yourself. Now you want to ask everyone individually, and what is this supposed to be? And what is this? Yet everything has been documented. Like for us, we have a whole process. We do this, we have our call, we take your brief, we write it down. So anyone on the team who wants to read, because even on the brief, the materials, they tell you, I don't want mahogany, for example. Now you've started designing mahogany and you're on the same team, which has the brief. You want to call the next person to ask, now, if it's not mahogany, what should I put? Why did you start? You don't even know what you're going to put in the process, and yet there's a brief. You get. So it means you didn't sit to internalize, this is my task, this is what I'm supposed to give as output. So for me to reach there, what do I need to know?
Yeah. So taking it back, coursework, internship, those are the struggles I find. And so every time a new member is coming to my team, I have a sit down with them. First, I tell them, you need to understand when you see your teammate who's been here 3 years, you can't get there tomorrow. So run your race first. Second, you need to understand the weight of understanding a brief for you to be able to get to their level. Those fundamental basics, it's not even the designing the big things. I take time and tell them, you want to draw a kitchen. Someone has been drawing 3 years. Understand the basics first. Don't kill yourself and want to be like Abby, who's done it. But the good thing is, because Abby has done it, you may not need to struggle.
Because you're in the same space, you can learn.
Now, what happened for me, since I was in this government institution, I stepped out and started Interiors by Claire like 1 year into my practice. So I didn't have someone to really hold my hands. that is what has pushed me. I had to
Learn.
jikaza.
Yeah.
I learned on the ground. I have made
Mistakes.
several mistakes every day, every project.
And you sit and you're like, I want to do this. Maybe next time I'll approach it this way.
I approach it differently. It has helped me improve our processes. It has helped me appreciate structure. It has helped me learn to take in client feedback. I used to get angry, squeezy. I just take it in and suck it up. And
Move on.
I move on, even though sometimes I may not receive it with so much grace at the moment. Let me tell you, I reflect after a project and I take up the feedback, and that has helped improve processes. So those are the things coursework doesn't teach you. You'll find clients with different temperaments, you know. So for a person who's coming into internship, there needs to be a mindset shift. That's the biggest thing. You're no longer a student. You're no longer doing projects to please your lecturer. These are real life projects that you've been given by the firm you've been attached to.
Yeah.
So for me, what I've really realized is mindset. And for those people who don't adjust their mindsets, they struggle fitting in.
Kabisa.
So if your mind doesn't shift, you can't even deliver and become the designer you want to be.
So for you, let's say on that critique, the critiques that you're saying is very different in university versus client. How, for you, what was your experience in terms of that difference? How was it easier in school, or was it easier with clients, like getting critique on your work? How was your experience?
It was way easier in school. Here, my goodness. Different people, different personalities, different backgrounds. Some of them will tell you there's nothing impressive here. So you've put your A game.
So give me a comeback. So let's say a client has given you that feedback, right?
Yeah.
And they're like, Claire, this is not him. Or give me a scenario where they've given you a certain critique and how you handled it.
Criticism always comes every other day.
Give me one that was tough, like a tough one.
Goodness. Right now, we are handling a project. And because we're handling this project and the person managing the client site, I think because there's a personality clash.
With who? With the client?
No,
with you.
The person handling the site, plus me, plus the client. And just taking in the feedback no matter how hard. And the client telling me I'm the client and really emphasizing and rubber stamping that really made me take a step back.
How?
And taking their feedback.
And because now, is it they're telling you I am the client because you are not receiving or wanting to change or to...
I just realized it didn't matter who's right or wrong in their project. They wanted to feel they are the client. And recognizing not all clients will handle things the same way. And receiving their criticism and looking at their gaps in our process and improving on that.
So what gap, for example, did you realize?
We introduced an issue log. So that they're not constantly bringing up issues and there is temperature rising as we execute the project. And so if someone is having an issue, we document it. We put a timeline to it. If I'm having an issue, I document it, or anyone on my team. We put a timeline to it. And then we put a part of the issue log is to say, has it been resolved?
So that things are not lingering forever.
Exactly. And since it's a long project, we don't want to feel exhausted as we run the project. It's a beautiful project. I want my clients to appreciate why they brought us on board. And I want to find joy as they execute the job because I know how their space will look like.
Yeah. They may have not fully visualized it, but you already know this is how it's going to look like.
Exactly. Secondly, I think also in that project is the client is giving real time, is very expressive, and they're giving real time feedback.
Is the word expressive, you're using a PR word right now. You've really...
No, they really give feedback.
Okay.
And it can be either way.
Oh, okay.
So you learn. If you're not receiving it well, you will not take time to look inside and say, what can I change? And I can say right now we're at a really good space with the client. I think we are rubbing off each other because of personality. They're strong. I'm also strong.
Yeah.
And so we said, I say, I have this beautiful project to deliver. They are building their dream home. Where do we find the balance? And I realized I'm the service provider here.
Yeah.
I need to be the one stepping back.
Yeah. And you see how to manage it.
And we receive the criticism every day. Every day. Different projects, different clients.
It's never smooth. It's never.
And these days, it doesn't bother me. So I just take time. Like I said, I may not receive it rohoju at that moment or with so much grace, but I always take time to think through.
So take a step back. Yeah. So during this period, then what would you say is an unexpected area of growth or skill that yani you've just had to grow or upskill yourself? Unexpected.
Management and leadership.
Tell me more.
You know, those beautiful projects you see there, they need a lot of prowess in executing them. By prowess in terms of not just I have the design skills, managing a project from a team lead
perspective.
Yes. Abby, am I supposed to be speaking as a designer or one who leads a team? Because
you can do both, because you have an advantage because you're both.
Okay. So management and leadership means management is clients entrust you with their resources, and you need to manage those resources in terms of money to execute the project and deliver the promise. Management in that you lead teams of fundis. You work with suppliers, or rather you collaborate.
And there's a lot of people.
So if you're not a good manager and you're not a good leader, you will not finish the project, no matter how good the proposal is.
Yeah, because also remember there's a dynamic of, for example, let's say you have a timeline, right?
Yes.
Internally, there's your dynamic of how are you supposed to finish maybe your drawings, your site work, your fundis, etc. Then there's the suppliers. When are they supposed to give you A, B, C? Let's say they're cutting stones for you, right?
Exactly.
When are they supposed to start and finish? Are they also lagging on their end? Who is following up on them? Who's pushing them? Who is talking to them nicely? Like, sometimes you have to fight. Sometimes you have to...
Like right now, I'm in the middle of a war with a supplier, and it's crazy. And so that's in terms of management and leading, in terms of giving the promise to the client. Now, management and leadership also means strategically leading the company and managing it and being a prudent steward. You get that. There are people who are sitting under me that I need to mentor them to become the best version of themselves.
Yeah.
Managing the resources of the business, thinking growth, thinking where will we be in the next 1 year, 2 years. You get. So I'm telling you that growth, it's fast. Now, also clients who think we are the world. And they bring for you projects and you're wondering how will you deliver this. And so I've had to level up and say I can take up this assignment. Sometimes I don't know even how I'll do it, but it's pushed me. Thinking out of the box, stretching myself. It's such a beautiful space to be in right now. I enjoy it right now. I enjoy it.
Because you pass through the years of grinding, fine-tuning.
Yes. I also enjoy building people. So I like it when a designer has joined my team. And within 6 months, 1 year, 1.5, they have grown. And one thing, I think last year during the end of year, my team encouraged me. And sometimes when you're building,
you don't see.
For the 8 years I have, that's the one team that give me a pat on my back. And it was so encouraging. They told me, thank you for never delaying with our salaries. Thank you for compressing my 3 years into 11 months. Thank you for giving me a chance. Thank you for pushing me. And I was like,
wow.
I'm so happy to see your growth. And they were like, imagine if you don't grow, we can't grow.
Yeah.
Because sometimes you don't see that growth.
Yeah.
Do you
need
know?
Someone else to identify.
Exactly. And so that really has given me motivation for this year.
Oh, wow.
Just knowing you have the right team. And that's where management also and leadership comes in. Finding the right team so that they can allow you to strategically lead the company, and you can entrust them to deliver and understand client briefs and deliver for your clients. That's phenomenal.
So still on that upskilling and growth, let me ask you a tough one, right? Tell me one thing you learned about yourself from your team that you really didn't like about yourself. Maybe you knew about it, but now through leading a team, you're just like, this is ugly.
Hey, you're putting me on the spotlight.
I'll give you mine.
You'll edit this one.
No, I'll give you mine just for transparency and whatever, because you see, this platform is to educate and we're also growing together. Yeah. Like for me, I'm very sarcastic. Yeah? Okay. And sometimes, before I give you feedback, sometimes maybe it helps because I don't physically work from the office every day. So there's that gap between delivery and it landing on whoever it's supposed to land on. So I'm very sarcastic, yeah? And you can just ask me something and I'm just like, I want to give you a sarcastic answer or a question. I don't want to answer your question with an answer. I send it back with a question. So where this stemmed from, I remember in one of my experiences as an employee, I'd go to my boss, or rather the MD, so not my direct boss, right? And anytime we'd have conversations, he would ask me questions. He would not answer my questions. He'd ask me questions. So for me, I learned a lot because I knew if I go to Claire, they're not going to give me the solution. They'll ask me here and da-da-da. So I'll answer myself during that conversation and he'll tell me, fine, you have the answer. You get? So to some extent, I took that so literally that when you ask me something in my head, I'm like, I ask you another question, like, so you answer it. Why are you asking me? You know, you get. And sometimes I came to realize it's an ugly thing because really sometimes someone really just doesn't know. They really just don't know. And that's something I'm really working on. So it helps that I'm not physically in the office every day because it gives a gap. Because we are communicating in whatever platforms for our project management. And sometimes it gives me a minute or two to say, let me not be sarcastic right now. But if I was direct with you, I would already have, Yeah,
I think for me is I used to get so worked up. Siku hizi nimereduce. Hata sina nguvu. Naambia basi fanyeni vile mnataka. I would get so annoyed. And in the process, I probably hurt someone.
Yeah.
You get. And it really meant retrospecting and looking internally. That's why I'm saying I've really done work on myself. In fact, our HR consultant told me, Claire, 2.5 years I knew you, and right now, the way you approach people manage your team, you've really improved. So even receiving that feedback from her, I don't get worked up as much with my internal team and even with the fundis, with the suppliers. Nilikuwa nakasirika.
So it's something that, because
I've learned to manage my emotions better. You get. So if anything, it was maybe not a lack of, my emotional intelligence was not the best. And so right now I read the room better. I learn to react better. I can step aside. I allow the team to make the mistakes. But still bado nafinya. But I don't get as worked up
as you would blow over.
Yes.
Because one thing, I read a quote some time back and it was saying something in the lines of, if there are 2 things that will teach you about yourself, is marriage. No, 3. 3 things: marriage, your children, and your team. Yours, not someone else's team that you're handling, yours directly. Because someone else's, there's a way maybe someone else will come in to diffuse the situation or whatever. But yours, it teaches you, okay, maybe I'm not so equipped emotionally. Now I need to learn emotional intelligence. And it's so shocking for you because you've realized that problem is here and you have this thing. They're not going to give you 1 year to learn. You need to learn it now. You need to improve on the ground. They're not giving you a timeline of, okay, you have 5-month internship to have improved your emotional intelligence. So sometimes things are thrown at you. You realize, okay, maybe I'm not a good communicator. I'm not emotionally intelligent. I'm not this, I'm not that. And you need to find this same year to have improved. Wow, it's a lot.
Yeah, I needed to manage myself because I didn't want to have a team that's not finding joy when they work with me.
Yeah.
So one of the things I said, I want to find joy in my work, and those that I work with, that they should find joy and satisfaction. And part of feedback is last year is the team telling me it's not hard coming to work.
Oh, that's nice.
Let me tell you, nimetoka mbali. It's not been easy. Just even getting that kind of feedback that they enjoy. And let me tell you, like I've told you, in the 8 years that I've run my studio, I am sitting here and confident that work is moving. I am not worried. They run, they have understood where we are going, getting that kind of backup from your team.
Yeah. It's so empowering.
It's so empowering and allowing them to be, and knowing that they enjoy coming. You can even feel the atmosphere in the office.
Yeah. Because also for me, one thing that's very important to me in my firm is it doesn't need to feel political. I don't want you guys to feel like, you're in a space where every morning you're waking up and you're like, you're not happy to be there. It translates to your work,
Exactly. And in the era of mental health, I've also, at a personal level, been in the space that I've realized how my personal life has affected my work life. Going through the motions, losing a loved one, something not working out. And so taking a step back and saying there are moments my team goes through these things.
Yeah.
And they may not share it with me, because even me, I don't necessarily share it with them. And I remember sometime 2023, 2022 ending, I lost my sister-in-law. And so in 2023, I didn't realize I was getting so worked up.
Yeah, because I remember you had mentioned this thing took a toll.
It took a toll on me, and I was really letting it all out on my team. And so when we were starting 2024, I said, it can't be like this.
Yeah.
I've never been like this. Even me, I was worse than all the years I had started. I was running the business. So 2023 was such a wake-up call. And it really meant working on myself towards the end of 2023, 2024. And my goodness, I'm in a place of rest right now.
Just to pick up on that still, I remember there's this program called Masterclass. And I took one course of a dancer. She's called, her name starts with P. I've forgotten her name. Paris. Gobel. Sorry if I'm saying it wrong, right? Phenomenal dancer. But her class was so, the way you take a random class, it was such an eye-opening experience on teams and leadership, a dance class. Because I remember she runs a dance studio and she does choreography for all the big names. I remember she mentioned and said, your team is a reflection of how you make them feel.
Oh, so true.
Your team is a reflection of how you make them feel. So if you make them feel like crap, that's what they're delivering. That's how they're showing up, to your clients. That's how they're showing up to the work they're giving. And sometimes you have to look at it. That's why I'm saying sometimes you have moments where you look at things about yourself that you're not so happy about, that you're not so proud of, because you'll sit and blame, Claire anakuanga tu hivi, nani anakuanga tu hivi, but you've not thought about it. Actually, I may be the one who is.
That statement is true, but not in entirety also.
When you pick it up.
You know, because also you need to understand there are just people who are not for you. You get.
But you see, this, I think, also stems from picking the right team. You remember?
Okay, so that's the thing. When
Picking
you're
the right,
building.
yes.
Now, what I've learned right now is I've acquired a skill of picking the right people. You get. By the time I'm doing an interview, I can already know this person is not going to fit into the culture of the company. You get. And doing the reviews, I'm telling you, the best thing that happened to me is bringing in a HR consultant. They've taught me a lot on team engagement. You get. And so recognizing that the first office I hold is a designer. These other offices that need the business to thrive, I need support. So bringing a financial consultant, understanding we need someone who is in the finance team but has someone on the finance department doing oversight. Meaning, I was alone when starting. Now I'm leading teams. I didn't know how to do that. And so there's a lot of rubbing off each other. You get. So I didn't get the experience of corporates doing nini. Hapa mi niko peke yangu. I'm this young girl who's trying to figure it out. So at some point, stepping back and realizing, I even don't know how to lead teams. And
exactly.
Fanisi HR has been so good in helping me. So when I'm stuck, how do I handle this matter? I'm having this challenge with this, team member. How do I need to communicate something to the team? How do I do it? And my HR consultant told me, if you have an unsettled employee, you'd rather never have them on the team because they may not deliver. So I always strive to ensure that my team is settled.
How you make them feel.
Exactly. So it's such a learning curve. And sometimes it's so painful. Sometimes it's easy. It's ni milima na mabonde.
You have your highs, sometimes you even handle situations and you're like, kumbe I can handle this so well. Like, wow, this is amazing. This is fantastic. So what soft skills do you feel were the most or are the most important to your success or to anyone's success, aspiring, budding interior designers, whoever they are? Soft skills. One.
Abby.
One. Pick. There are many. One, two.
I can't pick one. Tell me yours.
One. No, one. Just one. For me, okay, I'll say what? Sales, because everything is sales. Even me talking to you, to
is that
convince
a soft skill?
It is a soft skill. So you
then
have to sell to you.
I'll go with that one because
you have to. Okay, let me change the word.
I was going to say, and it's worked against me and for me. Sometimes I'm too nice with my clients, over friendly, and sometimes it doesn't work well for me as I ran the project because I was too accommodating. So how it works for me, I easily onboard them. So I need to learn where to
cut the line.
Yes. So as I progress, I realize boundaries have been crossed.
Now how do you reel back?
Exactly. So sometimes when we're reviewing a project, nitacha kwa friendly, over friendly. Hapa. Then I find myself another project, lakini sasa ni personality yangu.
So what would you say then is your soft skill that you feel like yani is so important? For me, let me explain the sales one, because sales is not the technical part of the interior design. That's why I'm saying soft, right? Because one, I have to sell to my team member, even my colleague. So you help me with this part I don't understand. They have to buy into wanting to help you, right? I have to buy into my, I have to convince you, okay, Claire, so you add me a salary. This is what I'm bringing to the table. I have to package it in a way that makes sense for you to see, Abi nitamwongezea mshahara. Okay. For the client, I have to package whatever I'm selling and telling them, actually, this makes sense for you because of your personality. This is your lifestyle. And so if I do for you this kind of wall in Nini, it's going to, So I'm selling. Supplier, but then if you do A, B, C, D,
that's
sales.
it. I'm always doing sales, and I've seen how it's giving us room, whether it's with suppliers, we're now doing collaborations with my team, with my clients, we're getting really favor all round. You get? So if you're going to call that a soft skill, then that's it.
Yeah,
let's just end it there.
You just have to figure with teams. Sometimes, you have an unrealistic timeline. You're like, okay, now you guys, I know your workshop is full. Now how are you going to help me? I'm going to give another one. You sweet talk. Sweet now is what you do, we call it sweet talking.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. I'm really struggling with it, and that's why I've said sometimes it works for me. Even when I'm going to a supplier, there's a ongelesha waingie box, but sometimes it works against me. You get boundaries are crossed. But like I would say, it works more for the business than against.
Yeah. So either I'll put it as sales or I call it presentation. I don't know, but it's a mergence of the two because you're presenting to all these people. I
think we need to find the word.
The word for it. We have not yet found it.
Exactly.
We've not found it yet. Yeah. Okay. So give me one challenge that turned into a valuable learning experience for you.
One challenge
turned to a learning experience for you. You think and you're like, where? This one.
In terms of what?
And in terms of, you can say in terms of project, you can say in terms of leadership, you can say in terms of however you want to go. Or let's say project.
Over communicating.
That turned into a valuable... So how is that a challenge?
Less or gaps in our communication channel. Internally, when executing projects, have led us into having losses.
So under communicating or over communicating?
Under communicating.
Under communicating has been a challenge.
Has been. So right now, we over communicate. Give me TMI. When running a project, feed the client with too much information, tell the supplier too much information.
We are all clear.
Wacha kila mtu anakuwa na too much information, atajua vile ya kuisive.
Yeah, rather than less.
Exactly. Because less, sikuwa najua, sikuwa naelewa.
Mimi nilidhani hivi.
Thank you. And you know what? Sikuwa nilidhani, ilikuwa na nini nilifikiria. Meant losing numbers.
Exactly.
Yeah, so I've learned to over-communicate with clients, with suppliers, with my team. What I struggled with, and I've remembered, there was a time I used to keep so many things inside myself as a team leader. So I never used to communicate my expectations to my team. And like I can say my confidence has grown in leading teams. So since I don't communicate my expectations, I get disappointed. Then I get worked up or I make noise.
And these things are in your head.
And then I realized I need to debug and tell everything. Wacha niweke chini. Mpaka siku hizi naweza kuna kitu amuelewe, kuna kitu sijasema. Kuna mtu akona issue. Nini. So I'm finding people enjoying. Our fundis are enjoying working with us. The team. Sisemi hakuna kuzozana, but it's at a minimal. So over communicating has under communicating or having gaps in our communication. Even just under communicating a design expectation really has made us work on our communication. And let me tell you, no project can succeed without proper communication. Communicating your design ideas, communicating your timelines, expectations to the client, to your team, to the people executing your design ideas, to the suppliers, to the logistics team, to the procurement team. The bedrock of a proper, well-executed project is excellent communication.
Communication. Yeah, because even for me, what I realized, my biggest challenge, I think, in communicating was I always, and that's one dark side of myself that I said I also realized, like, this is ugly, Abby. I used to talk too. I'm not communicating. I'm telling. There's a difference.
Okay.
So you're not understand. So I'm not sure even if you understood what I've said. I've told you, I want a flower vase on this table. And I assume that you've understood that you want this flowers.
It needs to have pink flowers,
white flowers.
Mums, baby breaths, and a mat.
So you've put for me flowers there without a mat. And I'm like, now what kind of designer? You didn't even put a mat. You get? I'm talking to, then I realize, you know what, you're communicating, but what people understand is so different. You get, ask them again, Claire, umeelewa nini?
Okay.
Umeelewa nini? Or, sometimes they even tell me, even like my nanny is at home, ask them, umeelewa nini? They say hivi, and I'm like, hapana, kuna mahali umekosa.
We're not on the same page.
Hatuko same page. Nilimaanisha, ukisha set, uweke mpaka hivi. Bas wako like, oh, we are together. But you see, if I left it the way I used to just leave it, but I've told you to set the table.
You've just reminded me. I think I'll pick that umeelewa nini. Because, okay, I think maybe I'm not so intentional about it. Today I was just shooting a site and I'm like, the fundi, I'm finding something has not been fixed well. I'm telling the fundi, mbona huku fixi kitu hivi? Ananiambia, designer A alisema ulikata. Nikamwambia sikusema hivyo. Akaniambia, nikamwambia si mimi nilikwambia hivi. Akaniambia hata mimi nilifikiria umeniambia hivi. Nikamwambia mbona huku receive instruction yangu? So the discord was, yes, I told the fundi that on Saturday, tukaelewana. But him, because I have put structures and I have put a communication channel.
Yeah. Hey.
Unaelewa hiyo maneno. Designer hakunielewa. So yeye akasema ati Claire alisema,
so you two mlielewana, huyu hakuelewa. So
nikauliza fundi, wewe mbona ukufanya hivyo? Akasema mimi niliona tu vile umeweka nini, you know. So
umeelewa nini is the takeaway. Just ensure people have understood.
That's what I'm leaving this podcast with. I think every time I'll be giving an instruction, ndakuwa nauliza, umeelewa aje? To reduce pressure kwa hiyo ofisi.
It reduce a lot of pressure
na kwa site. But kuelewa nini, even the fundis, hiyo imesaidia kwa site. Squeeze hata hiyo kukasirika, unaenda site vitu sijui zimefanywaje. Iko chini. My friend. 8 years si mchezo.
It's not a joke.
Yeah, it's not a joke.
So from your internship experience, tell me what you think. Internship, not even jobo. Your internship experience, what did you learn or take away? Or what was one shocker and what did you take away?
Hey, I had this boss. And one day she told me, I can't remember the exact words, but it was more like, the world really doesn't really care about how you feel. Oof. I remember that day my mom happened to pick me from work. Nikamwambia, my mom akaniambia hivyo ndio dunia inakuanga.
So you're looking for assurance here? Nakwambia hivyo.
That thing has built who I am.
What had happened, or what was the context in vague?
She was just a tough boss. And because I'm just doing internship, I'm still continuing with my coursework. Was it Nikki feel? You see, there are those things like, I'm feeling you should have treated me this way.
Better. Oh, and you went and you confronted.
No, I didn't confront. I just needed to understand that everyone has a different style of leadership. And sometimes when you're on this side of the table, you who's receiving instructions from your team leader, you won't always be happy with what they tell you.
Yeah.
You get,
and you feel like you can do so much better and so
not
much
even
more.
that. I was learning, but hey, it's okay what they said. I learned not to take things personally. And that's what has helped me. So when I realized she was building me, hata hiyo chungu iliisha. It's over 10 years. You get, I can't even remember the exact words
or the scenario,
but the experience has shaped me. I can't even remember the
exact scenario.
Yeah. And even if I would meet them today, it's just out of, hi, how are you? Oh, I worked here. I'm doing this. That's just my internship experience. It wasn't bad.
It was different.
It was different and it was okay.
Yeah.
I did like 2 internships. I had one that I was never helped by my boss, really. The first one, I did it when I was in second year. I think that just, you know how you tell someone, can you help this person to be on an internship? And what that experience, I've said, if you're coming to my team, if I don't have time to guide and instruct you and build you, then I won't take you as an intern.
Yeah.
So I'm so intentional about the people I steward. I'm so intentional about my team. Yeah.
Because I remember there's someone who was asking me about internships, and I think I mentioned this before, and they were like, they've kept calling, and I said, I don't have an opportunity because I've already taken someone as of now. And I remember him just asking, but why are you reluctant? And I told him, do you know, it's not just about coming to feel like this space. I have the capacity for one, because it's really not fair also to have an intern in your farm and you don't have the time or the work or the capacity to
train. Even personally, as being in that space to train. I realize sometimes I don't have the grace to just pour into someone. Yeah,
you have the desk and maybe a computer, but you don't have the, maybe also not in a good space at that particular point to actually pour into them. You get?
Yeah.
Still on internships, I'd like to ask, what insights did you get on managing deadlines and on resource constraints? Because I think when you're in school, you imagine like, as long as you're interior designer, you'll be given a budget that works. You feel like things will be, as per your plan.
Hey, Abby, you've taken me far. I was looking at your proof. I was like, do I even remember my internship experience?
I leave internship.
I think it's 12 years ago.
Leave internship then. Do any one of your working experiences. Or even at your firm right now. On managing deadlines and resource constraints. So compare that with school or what you thought of school.
The pressure we had to deliver projects in school is always there, will always be there in real life. In fact, in real life, clients think you are basking in the sun, waiting for their projects, and they needed you to deliver yesterday. And they called you today. Clients are always coming last minute, and I don't think it will change. Yeah. Just the way we want to be able to make up at ni squeeze too.
Yeah, 30 minutes too. Between 10 and 11.
So, deadlines are part of this job. You have to put in the work to hit the deadlines.
No, what was different between what you expected versus now on the ground? Or was it something?
I don't think I had an expectation on deadlines.
Oh, you didn't have?
Yes.
Oh, you're okay, just the way school was. Anyway, tunakwanga na deadlines.
And I tell someone, kama unafikiria hapa uliko, hapa pia deadlines iko. You get. Then the second thing you've asked is
on resource constraints.
I think I never imagined budgets will be a problem. I'll always be negotiating budgets. I was just doing the presentation, nimalize teacher nimefanya kitu mzuri, or the lecturer instead of teacher. But here, real life, the client has this dream. Budgets are always a constraint. You're executing a project.
So from your experience, have you had clients who, or is it a mix, who they're not too tight on the budget, or those ones, you're always squeezing on budget, or it's a mix? Some who are really tight.
It's a mix, but I've never gotten a free pass. Kuna ule atenda kurevise budget yake based on what we've proposed. Ataniambia, this is what I want. This is the budget. Then we'll tell them after we've designed the budget can't work. They'll love the proposal. Then they'll level up
a little bit.
There are those ones we don't even start doing the project because it can't work for either parties. However, and if a dream client happens to listen to this podcast, I am looking for them.
Yeah.
Where they give me a blank canvas of like, money is not a problem.
Challenge. We're looking for that client. I'm also looking for that one.
If I get that one, my friend, I think I'll get to the... I just realize even the one client who has the money, their taste is just at a whole other level.
Not, the budget won't fit.
So I don't know where the problem is. Uko na Mercedes na bado sijui juu ya Mercedes unaangalia gani hautosheki. I think also it's a human thing where we're not really content. And so, or let me just say this, the consumer market in Kenya is still really learning that interior design is a luxury service. And so there is a whole mindset shift that needs to happen with the consumer such that they allocate enough budgets for their projects. And also, seeing the importance of bringing an ID to your project early enough, so such that you didn't budget amount X for your project. Then when you're running and towards the end, you realize I can't have that beautiful home or that beautiful office without an interior designer, and then your numbers are not working. And that's why you find a lot of people, they build very beautiful structures and the interiors are not
good.
Where I can see people allocate budgets are commercial spaces. Companies have budgets.
Yeah.
They plan for them. But you'd find this executive who has an open budget when their offices are being renovated or being built. I don't know where the discord is. When it comes to their personal project, it's like they didn't plan that way.
Yeah.
And so they bring interior designers on board very lastly. And so sometimes they don't fully engage you or you end up working in phases.
Yeah.
So there needs to be a lot of consumer education about what an interior designer does.
And when they're supposed to join the project. Because like for me, I usually try to advocate my clients to bring me on board when the drawings are being done by the architect.
Yeah, that's when it's supposed to happen.
Before any structure. And they tell me, no, some tell me, Abigail, it's too early. I'm like, no, it's not too early. Because we need to just finalize, even with the architect, some things that I would like on the space before we start demolishing things on site. You know, we really have to think of when the interior designer is being brought on board so that also your numbers make sense. I'll tell you, like, there's one project that we are currently doing, and this client, it's a residential, and they were very intentional. They brought a whole team of consultants. I was the last one to be brought on board because he didn't know, but he also didn't bring me too late because they hadn't even done excavation on site, but I was the last one to be brought on board.
That's really, really nice.
But remember, they've already done all the BQs. They even had a QS. They've done all the costings and whatever. But you've done costings without an interior designer's input of what I want the space, or what I feel our agreement of what the space should be. And I remember doing my concept, he told me, Abigail, you need to be on budget. My QS has a budget. I told him, I'm not promising that. What I'm promising you is we will do a concept based on your brief. I will do a proposal for you. And then once I have your proposal ready, I will advise you, give or take, what budget you need to look for. But before we go to site, we will kick off and maybe have a middle ground, because you've gone too far. So we did the concept, we did whatever. Then I told you, I won't even look at your thing first. I want to understand what you want on your project first, right? And he was like, it's okay. When we reach a state before execution, we will move, right? We did the concept, we did whatever, and I gave him estimates. Now, when we're looking at estimates, for example, let's say what part? Cabinets. The QS had put cabinets, let's say, of 500K. The whole house, I'm giving 500K as a arbitrary figure. And what he actually needed for what he was looking at was 4 million bob. Huge disparity. But the beauty of it is site has not started. And he's also willing to listen. So I educated him. For 500K, this is what you can get in the market. You'll still get your cabinets, but this is what you're getting. For 4 million bob, this is what you're getting. Remember, this is a client who has already brought even pins of images and videos of what he wants his space to be like. So I educated him. This is what you're trying to get. Are you willing to go in this direction, or do we follow what your QS has done? I'll remove A, B, C, D. He told me, you know what? Proceed with yours. I understand which direction you're coming. But you see, this all could have been saved if we started at the beginning, with all your consultants early enough. We've done now your costing based on our concept. You have a realistic expectation, so that you're not doing things in reverse. You're not putting too much effort, because sometimes you'll do all that and then the client tells you, now go back to the 500K budget. You've wasted time. You've wasted time also. So I feel like, I don't know what your experience has been on that front.
It's the same. And just because we are talking about coursework and internship, if you had me in the beginning, I would say I would introduce the costing aspect as a unit. I think also what I would do if I was to revise, I would really emphasize the importance of different disciplines integrating. As you execute your job, as you specialize. Meaning, if I was to be a lecturer who's teaching quantity surveying at the university, I would bring to light who are the most likely consultants you'd work with in the industry, so that I tend to feel QSs don't really think through the importance of an ID.
And they use the market rate or whatever from
market
5
rate
years
or
ago.
what the architect has put.
Yeah.
Making the architect understand why is it important to have the ID. So from an coursework perspective, if it was relooking the syllabus, and especially schools that could have all these disciplines, maybe they could have, I don't know if it's the right word, is symposiums or expos where certain disciplines come together and they get to understand early why they need to learn to work together. You get? So that it's not 5 years into your practice you realize, oh, I need to be working with a QS. For a long time, as I was running my practice, I needed to understand, why do I need a QS in my project? Remember, I didn't get the experience you got like in corporate or in a proper established company.
Yeah.
And so what I means, I had to bring in a QS consultant, educate me what it means to be a QS, tell them this is how we do business. So that has helped. We don't do BQs typically like how QSs do. We've tailor-made it based on how we do our business. You get? And so also architects learning the importance of having IDs, all these consultants early in a project. So coursework to internship, I would teach, and I teach my team. Why do we need all these consultants early?
Yeah.
Because it's such a synergy.
Yeah.
This room minus the walls is impossible.
Exactly. So even for me, I think that thing was shocker. Okay, I had a bit of experience because now in my family, there's an architect, there's an MEP engineer. So for me personally, it wasn't quite a shocker.
Yeah.
Like all these people coming in, but I don't think people quite understand that you're not working alone. Even clients, I feel like there are those who don't understand. Like you need all these people. So they tell you, Abigail, if Nini is a light, I'm not an MEP engineer. I can do for you how I want aesthetically. This is the light I want here and but there's someone who needs to finish off everything else,
Yeah, so probably what I would tell, so what coursework to internship, coursework, I would say project management should be added as a serious unit.
Because that was missing actually.
Yeah, just from first year through managing projects is a skill that is needed because there are different stakeholders in a project.
Yeah.
I think that's it.
That's what you would add. So one thing I would like to ask now is what advice you would give to aspiring interior designers from all your experience.
Be so competent that you can't be ignored.
Ooh, that's a nice one.
That's my motto. That's a motto I tell my team.
You don't need to prove yourself. Your work speaks.
Competency means you put in the work. You learn from others. Allow yourself to be a student. And sometimes allow yourself to be in the background. Abby, I will tell you for free. There are times I have to dim my lights and build myself from the behind. And right now when I see the light shining, I know it's taken time to build. And every now and then, I take time to retreat and build myself. Because we're in an era where social media, you're feeling pressured. I'm so glad I started early.
Yeah.
Where even though I was so afraid of having an Instagram page. But there was no pressure. These days when you're an ID, you have the pressure of a nice setup like this. You've done a good project.
Yeah.
And sometimes you realize, my goodness, my first project was making curtains.
Yeah. Oh, by the way, you used to do curtains.
I still do it, but not as much.
You used to do that like a lot.
Yes. And let me tell you,
I forgot about that.
I thought my business will be a lot on deco and furnishing.
Yeah.
But things changed. I'm more on the construction bit of the interior spaces. And you know what? I'm happy. But there are building blocks. Nika make throw pillows. Unaelewa? But every time being a master and excellence, you will not go far if you're not planning to be excellent. Excellence needs so much intentionality. You must be excellent. To be a master in your craft, you must be excellent. So allow yourself to dim the lights
and learn.
learn from those who have gone ahead of you. Learn from those who are the same peer level. I learn from my team. In fact, I say, Abby knows it. Why should I stress myself and figure it out? Abby, inafanywa aje? Unanifundisha. I save time. You get? I document it. I'm telling you, we've documented so many things in my team.
Yeah.
It's made our design experience beautiful.
Because I know me and you usually have a lot of phone calls. Sometimes we are just hours. We have to just hang up the phone. Your conversation is it never ends. And sometimes I listen to you and I'm like, wow, hey, I thought I was organized. Claire.
I think you're organized.
I thought I was organized. Claire is so and systematic. You think I'm so...
That's how I've become sin.
Yeah.
Otherwise, I was a mad woman. And I realized because I didn't have structure and systems, everything was everywhere. We know, everyone on the team knows, a client inquiry, onboarding, the account person knows, once the client has paid, you invoice them. It's so systematic. At some point, I'm like, why haven't you invoiced?
Yeah.
They realize they've slacked.
Yeah.
Because we've put in a process. The site supervisor knows. They do a daily progress report, site instructions. Don't change things on site without a site instruction.
Yeah, you write on the book. If you're confident also what you've said,
write it. Whether it's the client or any other consultant bringing. It's just put in those structures, material requisitions. Or we didn't requisition, delivery books.
You have to be systematic and organized. And it's, I think, one thing that viewers need to understand about interior design. I feel like you need to be a lot more competent on the ops side than on the creative side. The creative side is coming in, but if you don't know how to run all these things, manage people, execute it, start, finish to end, like your creative thing hata haiwezi run.
Actually, Abby, if you're not a detailed person, you can't be an interior designer.
Exactly.
It needs details in everything. Yeah.
You can't because kila kitu is, how is this and this working? How is this running? How am I talking to my fundi? How am I dealing with the MEP engineer? How am I buying things? Am I buying them now? Am I buying them later? If I buy them now, how many months does it take to come to Kenya? When do we need to travel? Working backwards, if you're not going to think of everything in totality, okay, which kind of personality needs to do this drawing? Okay, this one needs a strong person in detailing. This one needs a strong one in decor, because this kind of project is more like a furnishing. You don't know how to put the teams that need to come together. Because otherwise it's now a hobby. Because again, you stay too much on the creative side, you're not making money. Because you're sitting there like, I don't have the creative juices today. Hey, day 1 has passed. I'm not feeling inspired. Day 2 is passing. Hey, day 3 is due. I'm not feeling like making the phone call to the supplier. They've not started manufacturing your thing. Months are ending, days are passing, nothing is going on, Yeah, you really need to be very detail oriented to run a successful.
So for me, my motto is be so competent that you cannot be ignored. Mastery makes hard things look simple. Mastery means you need to put in the time and effort and the work.
Good. I think that's what we'll take away from that. But before we leave, I'd like to ask you, tell me one good thing that happened to you today.
Today?
Yeah, today. Just to end on a positive note.
I shot a project. I say that's the best part of a project.
Now it's done, dusted,
done,
documented.
We can see how the proposal has come and the client has just told us, thank you so much and God bless the works of your hands. That's enough.
My coffee quiet tears by Claire. Congratulations.
Thank you.
So we are really happy. I'm also so proud of you.
Thank you.
Claire was my classmate in campus. Claire was my classmate. And it's so nice to see how people have grown, how they've evolved, how much I even learned from her. We have conversations and I'm like, hey, and this one, how do I navigate? And she tells me, hapa Abi umechoma. Hapa you could have done it.
You see how I tell you is how I tell the team. Kwambia hapo style up.
Umefanya nini? Sometimes she'll call me and tell me, hey Abi, but how do you do this kind of thing? I tell her, me the way you usually do is like this. She's like, oh, okay, that's interesting. She'll recommend, okay, read this kind of thing or listen to this podcast or whatever, So it's interesting to see how people you studied with, how the journey has been, their successes, their wins, to see how they're navigating their challenges. It's so inspirational, and I'm so grateful that you honored our invite.
How, Abi? Have I ever said a no to
No.
you? This was not a choice.
I'm so grateful. Thank you so much, even for what you're contributing to the industry, how you're pouring back into, guys who are coming out from school. I really appreciate it. We are really grateful.
They don't have to struggle like us.
Yeah,
they
you
don't
see,
have
it's
to figure
everyone
it out.
putting in effort, that also clients and the industry will start realizing that interior design is actually, a service. It's actually a serious thing. You actually need it. It adds value to your well-being. It adds value to your life, and it's also just by conversations, by mentoring others, by pouring in, teaching. So I'd really like to thank you, and I'd like to close the podcast by reminding our viewers about our mentorship programs. So we have 3. One is a one-on-one mentorship program where maybe we're walking along with you on your interior design journey. The second is a 6 weeks mentorship program where we compress whatever you need to learn. And the third is a 3-month mentorship program where it's a hybrid model between online and hands-on, so that you're learning things that maybe you would not have been taught in school or during your internship. And for that one, we will be having speakers like Claire to facilitate different workshops or different classes. All the people we are here having this podcast with, we are silently in the background going to reach out and speak to them we have not spoken to, so that we add value to the community. We add value to the community. So thank you very much.
Karibu.
See you on the next episode. Bye-bye.